RicoKnows here. I'm actually going to make this video free and for the public. I wanted to talk to you guys about our results show. Just give me a second. I'm waiting for something else to pop up on my screen, and then the show will start. Thank you guys for being here tonight. If you didn't know, UFC 87 in Las Vegas just started, and it's been pretty awesome that we were able to predict our fights tonight. Sorry, I had to hit mute on that. It's important to me. I usually get one pop-up at the beginning of the show. You guys are never aware of it. Here we go. I usually don't do results shows. I usually just keep it moving and don't tell anybody about our results, but tonight's pretty special. If you didn't hear, I'm going to pull up the chart in front of you. Most people don't get to see this chart. You might not know what it is unless you're an MVP. But this is our chart, and I'll try to explain it in its totality. So we start with the main card up here, and then you see the other title is prelim card. They're there for your viewing pleasure. This is a chart I provide to all MVPs on Patreon, on YouTube, and on the Discord server. So if you're a member of the Patreon, thank you so much. You then can connect your Patreon to the Discord server and get access to all the picks. At the same time, you can also be an MVP on YouTube. Just click the membership, become a member of the channel, pick the MVP package, and you will get to see all the videos and the chart as well. And this is how we're making our money. So if you look at the chart here, you will see the main card for tonight's fights that took place for UFC 87 in Las Vegas. You'll see the prelim card and the fights, and I'm going to explain the color scheme just for real quick in case you didn't know. The actual color, I guess, key or legend is off the page, but most MVPs already know it from an entire season of football. It's pretty simple. Green. A green text means it's a lock. Okay, green text means it's a lock. Black means it's a lean. And then purple means it's a value bet. If you see it in red, that means it was a change after the video or in the week, something to that effect. Now, there were actually two changes. There was Bernardo here and AJ Cunningham. I'll get into that when we talk about it. But this show's really important because if you look down here, here's all the fight cards we've done this fight season. And I consider this fight season 2024. We weren't doing any fights during the football season. I don't do fights during the football season. I focus on the football season every single week. If you didn't see it, it's down here. I can show you. I want to make sure I don't click on the wrong thing. Here's the football season. Now the card looks really empty because we wiped it out after every bowl game, but usually it looks like this or like this. And I know you guys might see a lot of red and green and you're like, whoa, did he miss on everything? No, not necessarily. You guys got to understand what was happening in those moments and the way we do things. Everything's in order by confidence. So as long as it's green over here, we're doing really well. If you see green on the far left, we're doing really well. Anything over here doesn't really matter. This is just a long shot, just so you're aware. For the football season, we were 59% on the season. 59% on the entire season, or 59.5%. Bowl games, 66%. Pretty tough to get bowl games right, but we did really well, 31 out of 16. And this is all against the spread. Okay, it's very difficult to pick winners against the spread. Now, UFC is a whole different story. UFC, you can pick fights against the spread, and you're still going to get the wrong answer. Because it's a fight. There's people there that have a puncher's chance to win or lose. So when you look at our results from each card and every fight night and every main card, 7-3, 7-5, 8-4, 9-4. We've really knocked it out the park every single time except for this last card. We went 6-6. Now, the 6-6 card's a little misleading. We got robbed by two things, but still, you miss, you miss. But you see today. Today we were perfect. We were 11-0. Okay, 11-0 on our picks individually. And you'll be like, Rico, you didn't tell us what the white text means. What the white text means is that was a lock, and when I highlighted green, the letters are green. You can't see, right? If I leave the letters green like this, and I make the letters green the way they were when we started, all you'll see is a blank column or a blank row. So I make it white. So what I want you guys to understand is everywhere you saw white, that means we hit on our locks. That's the white. And when we look at the parlays and props, yes, we went really red today. This, you can bet on these. It's part of it, but these don't count towards the record down here. These are what we're trying to tell you is going to happen, and they're in order by confidence. So the very first top one, the top parlay prop, is where everybody needs to go ham. And when I say ham, it's on you. I know there's a lot of cappers out there, a lot of people. Oh, by the way, just so we're clear, Rosenstrike won by knockout. TKO knockout, so we missed on this bottom one. I thought it was going to go to decision, and we missed on it, but we still said Rosenstrike was winning. Nonetheless, let me explain what's going on here. The reason I don't consider myself a capper, if you will, is I don't track units gained, units won, units lost, because I'm not a gambler. The way you bet on these fights is your business. I might give you some advisement here and there, but I don't tell you how to bet on the fights. That's all up to you. And some MVPs are better than others. Let me tell you, we had a man today, he bet $10 and parlayed. He cashed out right before the main event, but he could have made $2,300 on 10. Instead, he made $700. It's still a good bet, turning 10 into $700. I appreciate that man for being an MVP. I appreciate the people who stuck by me and believed in me to be a UFC analyst when everybody thought I was just a football analyst, because I do a lot of things right. I'm a football analyst and I'm a UFC. And if you listen to me talk about the UFC, let me just say this. I'm a lot closer to John Jones than you are to me. Like, I've been a trained fighter my entire life. I was an all-Army fighter. I was a master combatives instructor. I'm a lifelong martial artist. Just because I can do that doesn't necessarily make me the best at picking fights. What makes me the best at picking fights is I leave my emotion at the door. I leave my fandom at the door, and I just do analysis. And I go back and I study your opponents. I study your strengths and weaknesses. And I just have a knack for knowing what's going to happen, man. If you watch a fight with me, you will hear me. During the fight, I will explain the moves and the transition and the strengths and weaknesses of these fighters, and I'm not missing. I have a grasp of what this is, and it's special, man. And it sucks that not everybody knows. It's great that I know, and shout out to the MVPs who know, who trust me, but there are 1,000 people in this world who know it. That's still not enough. That's still not enough. So here we are, picking cards on the season. We're currently at, if you round it, 70%. That's right. I picked the winner of every fight at a 70% clip. Now, some people will say, Rico, that's not that impressive if you pick the right winner at minus 1,300. No, what's impressive is if I can tell you who else you can parlay that pick with. If I told you can parlay that pick with this pick and this pick, it's on you on how much you want to win that day. I don't know how many units I'm up. I don't have a fucking clue. I know some MVPs are up 20 units. Some are breaking even. Trust. Okay? So there'll be times when I give assessment and analysis, and then there's times where I'm like, I got it right, but they didn't get it right. The refs robbed us. Or the judges robbed us. Oh my goodness, did the judges rob us in Mexico? Now, the difference in Mexico is I did miss the co-main event and the main event. By the way, of all the cards, and there's one card I need to go back and recreate because I accidentally copy-pasted the wrong one. But do you see these main events here? You can see these main events. I don't miss on the main event, co-main event on the cards. I get them right. That's right. I picked Alexander Volkanovski to lose. I get these right. So when you start seeing me miss on the top two, that hurts. Because I really feel like I don't miss these. I didn't miss them tonight. I usually don't miss them. Okay? It's part of what I do. Johnny Walker, that miss, that's not real. I told the MVPs, we're just taking a value bet here because we're going to get it all right on the main card. And we did. We don't have to worry about it. I almost clicked on the wrong tab. Y'all would have seen all my futures bets. Shout out to the MVPs who are trusting me to do futures bets. Okay, that's 2024 football. We're already betting on it. Rico, who's the best team in this? Who's the best team in that? I already did it. I'm already doing it. You don't believe me? There's a whole playlist for it. Let me show you real quick. We're gonna do something special tonight, though. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it and go advise me. By the way, these are the playlists on the Patreon. I never show you guys the Patreon videos. They're locked for MVPs mostly. Some of them are free. But in here, see these futures bets right here? 2024 futures bets. You can go in here and you can see the college football bets you need to be making right now to get ahead of the curve and start winning. How many games is Miami going to win? Louisville, West Virginia, Georgia Tech, Florida State. Who's winning the ACC? Duke, win totals. Who's going to win the national title? Who's Cal? Who's going to win the Heisman? All that is in here. Who's going to win the CFL, Canadian Football League? I provide future bets for everything. And I make a new video probably once every 2 days. So that was this morning before the UFC fights. But let's stay focused on UFC tonight. I want to talk results. So what I do is every single fight card, to encourage you guys to become MVPs, it's pretty simple. I will go out and I will do the first fight of the night for free. And then I will do the main event for free. You get those for free. Come to the Discord server, become a free member. We have over 3,300 free members. It's not that hard. You can just show up and hang out with us, okay? But this one is the realest right here. This first fight, Abdul Karim Sawadi against Lok Radzahabov. Dude, I'm terrible with names. I don't give a shit about names. I know the fighters.
Hey MVPs, RicoKnows here. Going to talk to you guys about UFC Fight Night in Vegas this weekend. It's on Saturday. Just a reminder, these fights, the early prelims, they actually start at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, okay? So do not miss the fights. We're going to be there. I'll start my stream at 1 o'clock. So you guys can join the Discord server, come talk to me, and we can get all our live bets in and all of our adjustments and last-minute changes and things like that. But the early prelims start at 1:30. Main card starts at 4:30. Please don't be late.
And shout out to all the MVPs who show up on the Discord server. If you didn't know, you want to watch the fights with me, I put them on the Discord server and we talk. I'm not saying, but I'm saying, if you want to watch the fights, connect your Patreon app to the Discord server. And once you connect the two under connected apps, it's in the settings, okay? Once you do that and your name turns green on the server, I mean, you can watch the fights with me. $2.99 next weekend.
It's all Eastern Standard Time. Now, you look at the first matchup. I'm going to be making this video free for the public, and we'll talk about it. But Al Sawadi here, this guy right here, 15-3, Al Sawadi. They both are lightweights. They fight at 155. Little muscle-bound dudes. And then you got Lok. And I can't say his last name, but I just know him as Lok, okay? When I went and studied these two fighters, first thing I want to tell you is they expect Al Sawadi to win this fight. He is the favorite, minus 175. You can go check the sports book. It's down to 166. And then you have the underdog at plus 130. When it says more wages right here, nothing comes up right now. But it might change the morning of the fight. At least it should. And one of the things you guys should be looking for is your over bet on the rounds. Because I believe this fight's going to go to decision. I don't think anyone's going to end it. I like the over. If it's 1.5, take it. If it's 2.5, it gets a little dicey, but you might as well just go with the decision at that point, right? Someone's going to win this by decision. It'll say method, decision. Doesn't even matter who you pick to win. That's your business. Now, in this fight, I am picking the underdog, and I want to make sure you guys understand. I'm picking Lok, but let me explain something to you. When we make our picks, and I'm pulling this in the chart here so you guys can see this, on value bets, and I'll roll this up just a little bit so it fits on the screen. But on value bets, we are 8 and 11. If you just faded every single one of my value bets, you'd be winning in the positive. By the way, when I give you a lock or a lean, it's 19 and 7. Across all these cards, we're 19 and 7 on lock.
Just so you guys are aware, since we went perfect, we went 3-0 on value bets. Don't be fading my value bets. And we improved on locks and leans, of course, because we didn't miss anything for the card.
It's up to you how you want to parlay those and how you want to make your money. I don't give you those recommendations all the time. That's your business. But I can help you out a little bit. Let me explain something to you. Let's look at the last fight card. Some people
we can skip this. We can skip some of this. What I want to show you guys, I wish I knew how to put it back in the picture. I'll exit out and then we'll go here. I don't really care about showing you guys the old fight card. What I want to talk about.
I'm watching on the server and coming to the Discord server when he's striking, and he has good. Probably going to bet on the fight because you think it's a lock or you think it's this or that. It's not how it works. So this fight here. I went and studied every opponent they fought. I know their styles. You're talking about Sawadi here. Also, when he's trying to let you know he's a striker, he does roll up his shoulders a little bit, protect himself when he's striking, and he has good movement. And if you watch, who has he been beating here? George Hardwick is a kid from
England.
He was
and the point I'm trying to make here, I don't want to replay the whole video. I want to show you guys that I provide a breakdown of every single fighter. Their fight history, their fighting style, and their matchup. And I felt that Al Sawadi was being severely overrated, and we can't go there. I felt like we got to go with Lok.
The way he fights, I think he's tough, and maybe he is. But I went and watched him get knocked out silly, and I'm going to pull it into the screen here.
I watched him get knocked out twice, and I'm talking about Al Sawadi.
Accidents. So this is why I don't think he's getting knocked out.
So I thought it was going to get short.
Is a freaking monster. Rebecca, it was a cartoon the way Rebecca beat him. It wasn't a knockout. It was very strong.
Here we go.
And I think he gets a takedown. I could not find Al Sweety's takedown defense anywhere on film. I looked.
There was no takedowns, by the way.
Anywhere, so I don't necessarily know if he can do takedown defense. People like him because he's tough. People like him because he trains at Fortis MMA, I believe. Don't quote me. Let me double check that.
You got another fight camp.
If I go to full profile of the time where he trained, I believe it's Fortis. Yeah, Fortis MMA. If you guys don't know about the teams in MMA, it's really where you can get your level of expertise. You know who you're on the Mateus one as well. We got odds on 2 of these fights. And that's single card is free, so that's what you're getting here. If you want to know who's going to win, all the rest of...
All right, so I took the underdog. I apologize for all that. Next fight, Ludovic Klein, AJ Cunningham. It was pretty simple. Ludovic Klein was going to be an underdog in this fight. He was fighting Aguilar, I believe. I forget his name. Is it Joey? What's his first name? Did I say Aguilar? Joel Alvarez, my bad. Joe Alvarez, and Joe Alvarez pulls out of the fight. So then we got Ludovic getting a last-minute replacement. AJ Cunningham, this is a guy who just didn't belong in the same fight. So I told you, let's go. Here we go.
UFC level fighter over here, and that's why he's a minus 1,000. Don't overthink it. It's simple. You obviously can't bet it straight up. You can't do any other wages right now. But I don't expect it to go to the distance, right? So you can do inside.
It did not.
I believe there's a bet there somewhere if you guys look for it. And I would say that Ludovic Klein is obviously winning at minus 1,000. There's no point in even parlaying this with other picks. Minus 1,000 doesn't add any juice to your.
So, tell you it doesn't add any juice, but it obviously does over time. I would just tell you that Ludovic won in the first round, and it was not close. It was a no-sweat fight. Next fight, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Claudio Ribeiro. I told you it would end in a knockout or TKO. It did. I said it would happen in the second round. It did. And that's when you start getting really lucky about your reasoning, your sniping, right? Pardon me.
Somewhere in his gym, they told him, strike, 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 change level and shoot. Strike, 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 change level and shoot. So you might see it and get frustrated when he goes, when he goes to like get a takedown. And you'll be like, yo, he's rocking him. Why is he trying to get a takedown? It'll frustrate the hell out of you. And you're going to hear me scream about it on Saturday. But in this fight, if I was you guys, I would be sprinkling a chance for Claudio to get a knockout. I really would. And as far as Christian Leroy Duncan goes, if you believe in it, add it to your parlays, but you won't see it anywhere on my chart in parlays. I like him to win the
No, I lied to you because I did put it in a parlay later, and he didn't miss.
fight. That's cool, but I'm not parlaying it anywhere. So when I do my money line parlay, that won't be part of it. Yes, I pick about 3 or 4 fights, throw it on the money line. It'll be somewhere over here on the...
And we got that one right. The next fight, the one I'm most proud of, you guys, we're talking about an undefeated fighter in Javid Basharat versus Zahibi, and I just did not like the odds. I want to show you guys what this looks like when I'm swinging for the fences, picking a plus 500 underdog. I don't care what any other website is talking about, what any other cappers are talking about, what any other expert is talking about. I don't care. I sit down, I do my analysis, and I felt like Zahibi is being disrespected with these odds, and it would be irresponsible to take a minus 900 favorite like Basharat when I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's minus 900 good. Watch this shit. And this is tough, y'all. This is tough to do this.
A coach, and he used to train GSP.
And I'm talking about Zahibi's brother.
I really don't. But I'm on Zahabi here. He's 10-2, and he's fighting Javid Basharat. This is the guy. Right, this is an undefeated fighter. Him and his brother are known. This is what they do. Now, you see the minus 1,000 plus 600. It's not a typo. I think it's down to 900. It opened at 400 or so. But if you check the books, I'm not supposed to check it within 30 seconds. We're good. It's minus 900 plus 520 right now. And I know that Javid Basharat is winning this fight. We all know it.
Listen.
He's a very annoying fighter. He's a striker. He's never lost. This no contest here is due to a low blow. They just stopped the fight. Doesn't matter. But even though he's a striker and he's never lost, he doesn't go for the kill. He just touches you, frustrates you, and keeps it moving. Touches you, frustrates you, keeps it moving. And eventually the judges give him rounds because he has more significant strikes than you. Right? So if somebody's trying to hit him, they can't because he's moving. He's great striker. You know, touch you, kick, move. Punch, kick, move. And it's a boring style, if you ask me. You see this, you're undefeated and you're just going the distance every damn time. Because you have no killer instinct in you. On the inverse, right? Zahabi, I don't know why anybody thinks he's not a good fighter. I don't know how you could beat Zahabi. Well, you're fighting an undefeated guy. So there we go. But to get Zahabi, this is absurd. At plus 520 is insane. Insane at 520. Let me tell you, this guy, his 2 losses, that Ricardo Ramos, they say with H's, Ricardo Ramos fight there, TKO, it is the luckiest spinning back fist you'll ever see, or back is a spinning elbow. It's just complete luck. He did lose the Vince Morales fight coming up next after that, but he's had 2 one-punch knockouts in the first round in the last 3 fights. You don't get one-punch knockouts, just want to make you clear, not at 135 pounds. Unless you're Zahabi, this dude's got power in his hands. Another thing, beating Ricky Turkilster and doing it by unanimous decision, dude, that's a wiry dude. That's a weird dude. This whole thing kind of bugs me that they've done this to him. This man has lost to nobody else, and they go and make a really difficult bet to make. So, for me, on this particular card, if I'm being honest, the way I would bet it, you can't make money on a plus 900 or minus 900, I'm sorry. You can't make money on a minus 900. I say you go and take the underdog and you sprinkle it light. And I'm going to go ahead and put my money line value on it. I just think Zahabi's too good of a fighter at plus 520. That's the bet to make. Now, what I should probably tell you guys is I should do it like this. Let me rephrase. I'm going to go Javid here.
Now watch this. I'm flip-flopping in the video. Rico's flip-flopping.
But I think it's irresponsible to bet on it, okay? I won't even make it a lock. I'm making it a lean. I think it's going the distance, and that's why I put it over here, over rounds, okay? I'm just letting you guys know that Zahabi can fight.
Over rounds, by the way.
He does not ever deserve to be plus 500 against anyone. He doesn't just have a puncher's chance. He knows how to grapple. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He knows what to do on the ground. And Basharat is just a point fighter, man. He's annoying. He's one of these dudes who's just going to touch you up and keep it moving. He doesn't want to win the fight. He doesn't want to beat you up. Let me rephrase. He doesn't want to beat you up. He just wants to win the fight. Huge difference. I don't like guys like that. It's hard to cheer for guys like that.
You know what?
So
I can't even cheer for him.
He'll win the fight. He's minus 9,900. I'm sorry. Minus 900. But that's disrespectful to Zahabi. Just letting you know. I think it goes to decision. I think it goes to distance. Look for the over rounds, whatever they are. Even if they're 2.5, take it. I believe that's the bet to make. You obviously can't make these bets here. You might get over rounds and get something like minus 300 on it or something. Look for parlays. Believe in Basharat to win the fight, but what I'm trying to say, why I added purple initially, is I just think that there are certain fights where you got to take the underdog because it's mathematically irresponsible not to, if that makes sense. It's just right here. There's too much value here not to take Zahabi in this matchup. But I'll just get it wrong again because I keep doing that with these value bets. So what do you know? Maybe I'll change it by fight night. I really feel like you got to take Zahabi at 520. It's disrespectful and it's irresponsible not to. Your friends don't know. I
was about to end the video.
I don't care about the record. I'm going to do it.
I don't care about the record. That is clutch.
Doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is giving you guys accurate advice and analysis. And the analysis and the accurate advice here is you take the underdog in this fight. It's the only way to make money on this fight. It's plus 520. Don't parlay it with anything you don't need to. You put $10 on it, and then you watch the fight and hope for the best. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.
I need you guys to understand what kind of conviction that takes to sit there and let it process in your mind that you are not a fan in that moment. You are an analyst, and you are saying to your followers, the people who believe in you the most, you guys, it is irresponsible not to take Zahabi as an underdog. There's no way around it. We got to do it. Now, there are people who didn't finish the video. There are people who didn't watch that transition, and they missed out on an immense opportunity. And what I want to say to everybody is don't blind tail a fucking thing, bro. Sit down. Here's what I want you guys to do. If you're UFC fans, if you're MMA guys, I want you to look at the fight card, and I want you to pick 5 fights that you believe you know the outcome to. 5 of them. And then I want you to sit down and watch my videos on those 5 fights and see if I agree with you. And if we both agree on the outcome together, if we're in cohesion, make that bet. If we contrast, have some conviction, don't let me sway you, back the fuck off, save your money, keep track of the stats whenever I'm wrong. Careful. Watch every video. That's what you should do during the football season. During the football season, you should identify the games that you think this team's going to cover the spread. And then when you see my chart, if any of those games are on the chart, you bet them. Because you won't be mad at yourself, and you won't be mad at me, because we were on the same frame of mind, same mindset. But anytime we contradict, now you want to look for somebody to blame. If you're not a fan of the UFC or MMA and you don't know who to pick, well, then you got no analysis, bro. Just sit back and watch the videos and listen to me when I tell you, don't bet this or bet this. I see somebody on TikTok said, watch every video always, every week. Hey, shout out to Billy Avery. Shout out to the MVPs who are making a shit ton of money by sitting down and you watch the videos because you care about your money. I saw a guy say, Rico, I just want the chart, bro. I don't need all these videos and all this explanation. I don't need all this dialogue. I just want the chart. Then you don't care about your money. You don't care about your money, bro. You don't. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Hit it and quit it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just bust and get no hug afterwards. Just roll out. There's nothing there. There's no real relationship there. Next fight of the night, Vinicus against Sopaj. Sopaj was a late replacement.
Going to talk to you guys about the next fight on the prelim card.
And I told you guys we're taking Oliveira. I don't care. We're sticking with him. Okay, I really love Oliveira. Just let him go. And Oliveira took the life out of this kid. If you didn't see it, it was a flying knee to the face. An epic knockout. This man was no longer breathing. It was bad. It was bad, but we hit on that bet as well. And that was a pick 'em, essentially. It started off with plus money. This kid is good, though. Don't ever forget that. Little Sopaj here, he's good, but he might have had a life-altering knockout. Eric Anders and Jamie Pickett, I think I called this one perfectly. I told you guys, Jamie Pickett is a boring fighter, does not pose any threat to Eric Anders, and Eric Anders is a barroom brawler that just doesn't get it done.
Hey, MVPs, RicoKnows.
But he will,
because
Pickett can't hurt him.
Eric Anders versus Jamie Pickett. If you didn't know, this used to be on the main card, but because of some of the other opt-outs and they had to change the card, they moved, I believe, Steve Erceg and Matt Schnell to the main card. They were going to be the prelim fight, but instead now we get Eric Anders and Jamie Pickett. 2 straight bangers.
I'll talk to you about it.
2 straight bangers, but they're both really big guys, muscular. They look like they're going to put on a fight for the prelim, and we want to see it. Now, you see the odds there, minus 525 and plus 375. If you go to the sports book, it's a little different, and don't mind all the other picks I have here. They actually have Eric Anders at minus 430 and a plus 320 for Jamie Pickett. So, let me explain to you guys where we're going with this. I told you guys this on the live stream if you were watching it on the Discord server. I will never tell you to pick a fighter or I'll make a pick and then root against that pick. So, I cannot pick against Eric Anders. I love watching this guy fight. This is a former Alabama linebacker. Okay, he's a college football player. He's extremely athletic. If you know what it takes to play Division I football, especially at Alabama, then you know how good Eric Anders is as an athlete. And he's been in the MMA, he's been in the UFC since 2015. He's been fighting a long time. If you go look at his fight history, it goes back way down here. You see this UFC 2017, I apologize. 2017, he's been fighting since 2015, but 2017 to now. Been fighting a very long time in the UFC. That's 7 years of fighting. Yes, he loses to who he's supposed to lose to, and he beats who he's supposed to beat, especially when it's like mediocre competition. On the flip side, he's fighting Jamie Pickett. Jamie Pickett is on a 4-fight losing streak, and if I'm telling you, he's a sacrificial lamb. He went out there and got sacrificed by Bo Nickel, and rightfully so.
And at the end of my whole conversation, I just tell you guys, I think Eric Anders is a boring fighter. I think he's very frustrating. He tries to wrestle, and he's not there. Everybody's going to get tired. Take the over on the rounds. I think these guys will be here for a while, and sure enough, we were right. The next fight, opening fight of the main card, Schnell and Erceg. I told you, There's no way Urseg is losing, and this is why I pulled up the chart. And when I did the chart, I said Urseg in every single one of the parlays. I believed in Urseg completely. I just feel like he's a complete fighter. Ended up knocking out Schnell. Schnell's really chinny. If you guys don't know what that means, he's got a glass jaw. He's straight up Glass Joe from Super Punch-Out. Dude gets knocked out everywhere, and he got put flat on his ass in the fight really quick. I think it was a second-round knockout, and it was embarrassing. It was a one-hit quitter. You get knocked out, and that's it, bro. That's it, okay? The next fight, Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar Nurmagomedov, he's a Russian. You hear the last name Nurmagomedov, you immediately think, crazy grappler. That's not the case here. This kid's a striker, but he is an advanced grappler. Fighting Bezcat. I want to say something about Bezcat. One of the scorecards was 30-25. Absolutely outrageous. You do not give a fighter a 25. He did not look like he got his ass entirely dominated. Yes, he lost the fight. I thought he was still very good. I'm telling you this, the next fight he's in, depending on who it is, I'm going to be really inclined to pick Bezcat to win the next fight. I thought he was tough. He was a hard striker. He connected at one point, but I was never concerned with Umar because, like I said, in a room full of dogs, Umar is the dog. Like he'll just look around and he'll just be like, "What's up? Who are we beating?" He said he was 50% for this fight. He said that guy's an animal. He tried to kill me. I'm 50% for this fight in his broken English, but that's what he said. He also said something about Israel. But the point I'm trying to make here is we had Umar winning this fight hands down in every parlay. No worries. Never concerned with it. It was very normal. And then the next fight, we almost lost our ass. We almost lost everything because I was under the impression that Mohamed Mokaev, Mokaev. Bro, I struggle with names. And Muhammad's the most common name out there. I apologize. Alex Perez is a great wrestler. I just thought he wouldn't be a better wrestler than Muhammad, and it was very scary. It was a dominant wrestling performance by Alex in a loss. I thought Alex wrestled well. I thought he sprawled well, did not get taken down all that often, and it looked like Muhammad kept getting clipped, bro. Like, what is this? Mokaev was getting clipped. It was weird, but it wasn't. It's just the way he was doing his shots. He was just sitting flat on his heels. I've never seen shots like that. I've been a wrestler my whole life. I've been an MMA fighter my entire adult life. I want to tell you, I don't shoot like that. No one does. You step forward, drive your lead leg, change levels, get a single or a double, turn the corner, do what you got to do, scoop and score. I don't care. But what he did, I just didn't know what was going on. But he still found a way to win the fight. He was still doing some crazy switches at the end, and he found a way to gut it out and get the win. But he almost blew the whole card for us, which is crazy. Tyson Pedro and Victor Petrino, I was very disappointed in this fight just because these guys are super dangerous, and they refuse to push the gas pedal. They refuse to go for it and knock each other out, or at least, make it count. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in a fight with somebody that you respect and it's equivalent damage and you're afraid to hit one another. Let me tell you, man, I've been an MMA fighter. I've been in cages. I've been in octagons. I've been in training. I've been in sparring with people of equivalent strength and ability or people better than me. And I cannot relate. I cannot relate to what I saw in the cage, which is the inability to just put your shit on the line and go out there, bite down on your mouthpiece, and let's figure it out. I've been there 100 times. More than 100 times. I've been there 1,000 times, I'd say. And all you do is you figure out who's really got it. You bite your mouthpiece down and you go for it. And that's what this sport is about, is the people in this sport embrace the sport in a different way. Like, how many of you guys, I'm just curious, how many people watching this show right now know what it's like to taste your own blood, right, from being punched? Or know what it's like to have your blood dripping into your eyes, or what it's like to have an open gash, a wound, and keep fighting. I think people don't understand the mindset of an MMA fighter or somebody who's in the cage trying to take your will. If you will, there's no greater feeling than taking your will. When I used to train, one of my coaches, one of the things he liked to do was end all of our sessions with one 10-minute round. One 10-minute round. It leaves the judges out of it. There's nothing you can do. You're in the cage for 10 minutes. You're either going to sleep You're getting knocked out, or you're just going to completely quit to exhaustion. And you learn to feel that pain of despair. And you say to yourself, man, I can remember I had a guy in a guillotine, and I was squeezing it with everything I had. And I was hipping into him. I was doing everything right, and he wasn't tapping. And what I had realized was my arms were so fatigued, I couldn't finish this choke. There was no way. And let me say this: the fear in your mind when you know you don't have enough strength to finish the choke. And what's so cool is in an MMA world, and when you're in here in the fights, you have the clock. You know all you got to do. You look over the clock. You're like, man, I just got to make it 2 more minutes, 1 more minute. I just got to make it. Just stare at the clock. Okay, I got to make it. But when you go in there for one 10-minute round, nothing's saving you. Somebody's going to quit before 10 minutes are up. Somebody's done. Nobody's making it that long. 10 minutes straight? No way. Not a single soul. Especially at the end of your training session. So I always thank my coach for putting us through that, because when you're in the cage and you reach that point of desperation, like when you get to that point, you have to have experienced it before. If you don't experience it in training, you won't know how to deal with it in the actual fight. I'm 100%. So when I look at these two men who are at the upper echelon, at the pinnacle of the profession, and they refuse to go to the deep end. They refuse to empty their gas tank. They refuse to go. That bothers me like you wouldn't believe. And I was bothered by both of these men's performance. I don't care how in shape you look to Vitor Petrino. He did not push the pedal. He was afraid of getting caught. I don't think he was fighting smart. He wasn't doing anything to dominate this fight or impose his will upon another man. And I feel like once he gets in the cage with somebody else, with a mean streak, with the willingness to go into the deep end, he's going to lose. Someone's going to take his lunch money. But for tonight, we got it right. We picked the right winner. And at that point, we were 10-0 on the night. That's a pretty amazing feeling. And then the main event, I made this video free. You guys see it here. And I had a reasoning for what I was saying. I said Rosenstrike has fought a lot of good fighters, a different pedigree of fighters, and I feel like he can extend this fight and push it out beyond the first round. I also felt like the last time I saw Shamil fight, I only seen 2 of his fights, but the last time I saw him, despite winning, he looked gassed. There's no way he can do 5 rounds with this man. As long as Rosenstrike stays out of harm's way in the first round, we're winning this fight. This is what I said in the video, okay? And it's an amazing feeling when you get it right for all your MVPs at the end of the night.
You guys about UFC Fight Night 87 in Las Vegas.
I'm trying to skip ahead. It won't let me.
I want you to know the early prelim card starts at 140.
Let me see if I can do this.
Rosenstrike, you look at him, you think you can knock everyone out, and when you saw him in his career coming up through the ranks, he was letting everybody have it. And I remember when he got knocked out by Francis Ngannou, and I was like, oh, that's a real knockout artist. This guy's fake. And then the next fight, he takes out Giro Santos, and we're like, what the hell? This dude can go out here and do it. Now, what really sticks out to me is when Rosenstrike.
Somebody said I'm a fighter now too. Yeah, I'm not just a fighter. I'm the coach.
He can get it to go the distance. I see it here. He went 5 rounds with Cyril Gane. He went the distance with Curtis Blades. And I think that those fighters and all the fighters he's fought are of a much higher caliber than Shamil. I really do. And I know Shamil's on his way, and people are saying he's going to be ranked and he's going to be fighting for a title and all this. How do you come to that conclusion? Just because he beat some guys that you've never heard of? I don't buy it, man. And I might be in the mass minority here. So when it comes to betting on this fight, first and foremost, I wouldn't parlay it with anything. This is a chalk card. I want to make this very clear. This is a chalk card. The vast majority of these fights, the favorites are going to win. They're favorites by huge odds. I mean, there's just no way to make money on any straight-up bets. There's only maybe 2 underdogs or 2 favorites less than a minus 250. Everybody else is skyrocketing odds. It makes it impossible to bet on somebody just on money line. You got to go out there and do methods, predict some other things, right? Or you got to start going over under on rounds. Well, when I look at this fight individually by itself, plus 152 odds for a man who can knock you out or make you go the distance. You want to know what I learned about Shamil in his last fight? He doesn't have a gas tank. Yes, there's a knockout here. Go find this fight on YouTube. Go find this fight on ESPN Plus and watch it again. And watch this man, this 265-pound man, be out of gas in the first round. I mean, I don't even know how he's going to go the distance. And then you're fighting a guy who actually has experience in the cage and has been doing this for a very long time. Look how many fights he has in the UFC since 2019. Look at all these fights. Right? They're the same age, bro. He's 35 because he's 34. They're the same age. One guy has not been doing this at this echelon the entire time. I believe in Rosenstrike, and I don't think he's an ass kicker. I know. Rico, he's lost 3 out of his last 4. I know. Every now and then we got to get it right. So, you can't take many underdogs on this card. This is one I'm going to take. So, I'm saying Rosenstrike's winning this. Now, pay attention.
So, one of the things I talked about was Rosenstrike went 5 rounds with Cyril Gane. I don't think Shamil could ever do that. And that's kind of how I assess these fighters. If I start seeing you have gone the distance with certain fighters, I don't think Shamil will go 3 rounds with anybody. He went 4 rounds and tapped out. Didn't come out for the last round. Told his corner he wanted to quit. Couldn't see out of his eye, whatever it was, and they had to stop it and consider it a TKO. I'm just telling you guys, oh, by the way, live bet on the live stream during the Discord. We tell all the MVPs, bet on this fight, yo. Bet on this fight to end in a KO or a knockout. TKO or knockout. So, shout out to us tonight. We did it, man. We went undefeated. I say we. Listen, don't let me gas you. Don't let me start thanking all these other people. This is a award show. I fucking did it, okay? I believed in myself. I made the picks. I'm RicoKnows. Nobody helps me with my analysis. Nobody helps me with my research. I sit here. I do these videos on live, and I'm doing this right now. I did it. I went undefeated. Nobody else helped me, bro. I love the MVPs for giving me the opportunity and trusting me. Okay. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I realize you could be anywhere else. I don't do results shows all that often, so I just wanted to sit down and show you all 12 of the wins, and we're going to leave it at that. I have one more thing I want to show you guys on the way out, and here it is.
I'll show you some other time. Okay, so the move of the day is going to consist of something a little more advanced, and we're going to talk about takedowns. So I just show you your only 2 takedowns for level 1, right? But here's another takedown. When you go and you shoot, you're going to sit leg like this to keep it balanced, right? You're going to put this leg in front of you, and a lot of people don't know what to do from here. And they don't know if they want to trip someone or what they want to do. They're going to start grabbing the knee. I don't care. All you do is take this hand and put it underneath here. Like you're eating a Subway sandwich, right? When you take this, though, you don't just lift it, okay? What you want to do is step out and lift all at the same time, kind of like a bullfighter. You're going to go Olay. Okay? You got your rope or your little cape, you're going to go up. Those are your movements. So we're here. We're going to be here. All I'm going to do is step out and throw it up to this guy. And down. I don't care who you are, what kind of balance you have, what kind of coordination you have, that's all you need to do. Now, for safety purposes,
I teach a lot of fighting, y'all. I just wanted to show you guys. This is what I do to my haters if I meet them in public. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.